Welcome back to Cap Review. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the nephew of former President John F. Kennedy, announced this week that he will run for president as a Democrat in 2024. Now, Kennedy is the son of former U.S. Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy. Kennedy also has been a big champion of environmental causes. However, many also say that he's well known for being anti-vaccine activist. Joining us now is Caroline Vakil. She's a staff writer with our media partners at The Hill. Caroline, thank you so much for joining us. So we already knew that he was going to announce after he filed to run earlier this month. Talk to us about his announcement speech. Why do you think he threw his hat into the ring now?
Well, thank you so much for having me. You know, his run for the Democratic presidential nomination was expected. He did file paperwork earlier this month, and he is the second nominee who's running for the, I should say, candidate running for the Democratic nomination in 2024. But, you know, even though President Biden is expected to run, and many Democrats are assuming so, that doesn't necessarily mean that it may be a shoo-in, you know, for President Biden. There was a recent USA Today Suffolk University poll that came out this week that showed that he had received 14% of support among those who had supported President Biden in 2020. And so, you know, even though it may be considered a bit of a long shot bid, as is likely the case for Marianne Williamson, a well-known progressive, they're throwing their hats in the race and trying to see if they can give President Biden a run for money, though. We'll see how likely and how competitive of a bid he ends up making.
So with Kennedy's stance on refusing the vaccine, where do you see his political campaign and possibly career going with this?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, his views on the vaccine are likely not going to be in line with a lot of Democratic voters, but we also have seen from recent polling that Democratic voters and American voters have a bit of fatigue when it comes to not only President Biden, but also former President Donald Trump. American voters saying, you know, largely that they want to see someone else on both sides of the aisle, you know, having a different presidential nominee among Republicans and Democrats. And so I think that maybe this might be a lane for Robert F. Kennedy Jr., although, you know, even though he's been known for his support of environmental causes, his views on the vaccine and, you know, sort of the debunked ties that he's made with autism, I think are going to be a bit shaky among Democratic voters. And I think it kind of remains to be seen how much, you know, support he's going to really be, you know, able to galvanize among Democratic voters, to be honest.
Yeah, so you brought this up in the beginning. I mean, you said that President Biden isn't a shoo-in. At the same time, for the Republican Party, there's so much uncertainty there. So what do you think is the ideal candidate then for 2024? You see a lot of the candidates are kind of just been in the middle. So what do you think needs to happen, and what kind of platforms do you think they'll have to pitch?
I think that there is a sense that in 2020, you know, when you talk to strategists, you know, there were Republicans who sort of may have felt not so excited about voting for former President Trump, and, you know, some of whom see January 6th as a bit of a demarcation line in the sand. And so they're looking for someone else right now, someone else who's a little bit less, you know, maybe has less drama, is able to sort of, you know, keep the attention on policy, you know, being a little bit more of a possibly rhetorically safe choice, if you will. And I think that for President Biden, I think there's a sense among Democrats that he may not be, you know, this enthusiastic candidate, but more of a safe bet that they voted for in 2020. And they're not really sure, you know, now in 2024, what lane he fills. But obviously, I think voters are a bit concerned about sort of a Biden-Trump rematch. And so I think in some ways, voters want something new. They want something that feels exciting to them. I think at the same time, though, we're seeing Democrats on their end, you know, for the large part, rallying around Joe Biden, who they believe is going to be their best pick to sort of win 2024. And we're starting to see endorsements from a number of Florida Republican House lawmakers this week, and from other states, who are also galvanizing around former President Trump. And I think making that same sort of pitch amongst themselves that they feel like former President Trump is going to be their best bet in 2024, sort of separate from what the polls might suggest about how Americans might view either our candidate running again and being president in 2024. But we're sort of starting to see, those lines being drawn in the sand for both members on both sides.
All right, Caroline Vakil with our media partners at The Hill. Thank you so much for being here, for your time. Really appreciate it.